Hey there, exchangers. Happy Monday. You guys are doing awesome work. Let me talk to you just a little bit about source evals and the comments that I've been leaving there, and then we'll map out the plan for the week ahead. So I have looked at probably, half of the class source evaluations. I've been leaving comments in your actual Google document. If you just updated your share settings, I am going to get in there really soon. But I want to give everyone the feedback that I'm kind of repeating myself on and go into a little bit more depth. So first of all, on that source evaluations document, on the left-hand side, anything that is neon blue, even like at the top, finding sources, source evaluation, that is a link. It'll take you to the resources on my websites that support what exactly it is I'm looking for there. And there are a couple places that we could all improve on together. Detail is one of them because it's a little bit funky. On detail, I'm not looking for what are the details inside of the article, like details about what the article is talking about. That's what I'm looking for in relevancy when I say what are the relevant ideas contained in this source. In detail, I'm actually looking for, and I'm scrolling down to try to find it here a little bit. Okay, sorry. I'm looking for how detailed is the information? How long is the source? Is it a single page? Is it a full ebook? Is it a website that you scroll through and say, maybe 5 pages? How in-depth is it? Does it focus on a single study, single event, single interview, or is it pulling together multiple sources and info and research from other places? Are there sites? How many citations? Are there charts, graphs, tables, pictures, or any other data that's being covered there? Essentially, how deep, how long, how wide is the source? Does it only represent itself, or is it like journalism where it's taking 15 other sources and giving that to you in one source? Why do I need to know this in that way? Because I have so many of you working on different projects that I need really easy clues to follow as the editor. This happens every single time I facilitate a magazine publication for exchangers, is that somebody says, oh, I have writer's block, I'm getting stuck here, getting stuck there. I go look at detail and I find out, oh, your sources really aren't long enough. Or, oh, Amber, I'm so overwhelmed. Oh, your sources might be incredibly long and you need some support with how to sift through that length of a source. It's just a way for you to figure out how are you going to write 10 to 15 pages if your research is only 10 to 15 pages long total. You really need a depth in your resources and a length in order to be able to pull from to develop things. Authority. So usually first round, what I get here is writers, journalists or exchangers. Just give me the name of the author, the name of the organization, and leave it at that. I'm looking for sentences in this section, and I tend to want more in this section than any other section. Because authority, that's how do we know that this is credible? So what are the qualifications of the author? Education, career, awards, reputation? Are they considered an expert in anything? How long have they been doing what they're doing? Do they have some kind of experience that really is impressive? Same thing with an organization. What is their reputation? Have they earned awards? What's their history? How long have they been around? How factual? Are they political? What's kind of their overall gist or claim to fame? On my resource for source evaluations, there's a media bias and fact check button. If you're working with like a contemporary news source, just go there and have them do the work for you and find out what they say about it. Where are some other places you can go? Click on the author's name, search for the author's name, find their bio. On websites, even if it's a news source, you can typically scroll to the bottom or to the top and find an about page, figure out the history of that news source. So why should you do all of this work? Looking at about pages, looking at bios, is it just to appease the editor and earn the credit, or is there some kind of purpose that actually strengthens your writing? It's the second one, and here's how. When you find out what makes a source credible, you're going to provide that credibility to us inside of the signal phrase before you tell us what that source has to say. So in your training in English 101, you likely learned that a signal phrase is an author and a title. So you would say something like, on Amber Lemire's website, under the section of authority, she writes blankety, 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 blank. If you're a reader and you get something like that, you might say in your head, who's Amber Lemire and why do I care what she has to say? Now, if I do this background work and I say, according to Amber Lemire, a tenured faculty member at Lower Columbia College who has been teaching composition for over a decade, blankety, blankety, blank. What you've done with that signal phrase is you've laid down kind of like a strip of glue. And the idea is that the information is more likely to stick. The reader might still say, well, I don't care if she's been teaching for 10 years or more. But it's a stickier delivery of the facts that you're about ready to give. That's why at the end of every entry that I'm having you guys work with, I'm having you craft your signal phrase, because then I can look at the evaluation you provided and help you to ensure that you've grabbed whatever it is about the source that makes it most compelling and try to tuck it into your signal phrase to create that sticky, gluey, credible, persuasive writer's voice that we need at Exchangers. Does that help you guys? Does that give purpose to the task? I can't remember if the previous recording that I did mentioned it because I had to pause for a second, something with my technology. But if I didn't say it, when you're getting that about information, when you're getting that bio information, it's okay to copy and paste that and put it in quotes. I just need your document to gather that information. What do you need to write for yourself? The signal phrase. You need to think about what is it that makes this source sticky. Is there anything that isn't sticky about it? Can you counter that in the signal phrase? Like, though so-and-so might just be a mother who has one kid who's experienced this, and not a doctor or an expert, they have first-hand experience with blank, 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 blank. That's not the most solid example, but do you guys get what I'm after? Signal phrases are a chance for you to tell the reader that you've done the hard work of making sure that you're giving them thoughtful and considered credible and reliable sources. Okay. Now let's talk about the week. I can see that some of you have already submitted expansion 1, which is due Tuesday, and it's in the calendar. Submit expansion 1, background questions, click here for instructions, click here to submit. That's another worksheet, and it's a way for me to not just see your article as a product, but to interact with you as the journalist creating that product and get a sense for where do you feel flow and success and ease and progress, and where do you feel stuck, confused, at a halt, unsure, even just distracted or overwhelmed or off task, whatever it might be. It gives me a sense for how are we working. So expansion 1, due Tuesday night. There's no real right or wrong way to do that. Just answer the questions, and if I don't get what I need, I'll give you guys a comment in there. Source evaluations are due on Thursday the 13th, and that's going to be 4 total sources. You already gave me 1, give me 3 more. The 3 more can come from the sources you already have, or you may be inclined already to start searching for some new ones because maybe you're realizing that you want something different than what you already have. And then you guys already did some reviews. You did 2 of them last night, hopefully, or, before the deadline last night. Now I want 2 more this coming Sunday. And what I'm hoping is that you guys will be thinking about like this signal phrase work that you're doing, the background questions, resources, anything you're digging into with ethos, pathos, logos, any kind of work you're doing on your own article, just share. Like, this is where my head is. This is the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about for my article. Here, maybe this can help you with your article. And what if you feel like you don't have expertise to be commenting on someone else's document? Just ask questions. Just confront it as a reader. Say things like, maybe it's just me, but that part didn't make a lot of sense. Like, I would need more history, background, or context in order to be able to understand that. Or maybe it's just me, but this part was really persuasive, and this part felt a little bit like I didn't have enough evidence to really buy in. Or I think that's true too, but I don't know what the evidence is that supports it. Anything like that, just respond as a generous reader. Now, this is not a task within your guys' workflow, but I'm just going to give this to you as a piece of advice. If I were in your shoes and I was managing a multitude of little mini steps, that's going to help because, it's just biting off a little bit at a time. But one of the things that's not a step here that you're definitely going to be doing is revision, because you're not just going to expand your article and you're not going to get feedback and not want to be changing your article as you write it. So it's the only thing that I don't have an assignment for. So this is just my advice to you. I would go somewhere, whether it's in your Google document, whether it's on a separate Google document, like notebook you like, whatever. But I would make a couple columns, and here are a few of the columns I would make. My own, so the author, your own ideas for what kinds of things you want to do within your article, change, grow, develop, revise, fix, whatever words you use. Then I would go to another column and I would write my peers, these reviews that I'm getting on Sundays, and just write a list, like so-and-so said this was confusing, so-and-so thought this part was good, so-and-so thought, whatever it is. And then a third column would be me. It seems like Amber really wants me to add a section about this or reorganize this piece. And maybe you have a fourth column. Maybe you have a parent, a sibling, a friend, a tutor, a teacher, whoever in your life who you also have looking at your work. Keep a column. You do not have to revise and improve and edit everything that everyone is telling you. So having a chart like this helps you to map it all and then decide which ones are the priority. Sometimes the priority is not the one that would actually improve the piece the most. Sometimes the priority is the thing that you have the energy to do. So maybe it's the easy thing where you're like, I really want to work on this article, but I'm out of steam. Well, just grab the easy thing and just do it. Like capitalization errors, or something silly like that. That's how I keep myself busy inside of a project. I grab the easy thing and I just chip away at it until I get my energy back for the more difficult things. That's just a suggestion. But like I said to you guys last week, this is our rhythmic stage in our exchangers publication process. So if you're still a little bit uneasy, I would imagine that by the time we hit next week, you'll feel locked in. And then be looking at your documents. I will be leaving comments right on your documents. If you don't see anything by the end of this week, that's a sign that something could be wrong. So reach out. Otherwise, I would love a little bit of your patience as I just manage and review a variety of elements within our course. All right, guys, I hope you're having an awesome start to your week and that you had a great weekend. We're so lucky to have these beautiful winter days to give us energy and sunlight to get the work done. Take breaks as you need and reach out if you need anything extra from me.